back to the episode of Rolling the Ball. I just got done watching the Raptor King of Tough 250 Atlanta Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I mean, this race was pretty boring. For some reason, I was not bored watching it, but it was train racing from stage 1 to stage 2 until pretty much the end of the race of stage 3. We didn't see anything. It was a Jesse Love show. He did 157 laps. The entire distance of this race was 163 laps. We did go into overtime, which added an additional couple laps, which did add some distance to the race. But he, for some reason, his car was able to work all the time. Every part of the track, he had it figured out. He was fast. We knew his car was fast because he won the pole. But there was a time when Jesse Love was, after the pit stops, after the end of stage 2, we were entering stage 3. He lost the lead on pit road, and he was, I think, third or fourth, restarted third or fourth, or second, I don't know. And he was on the bottom lane, and he was able to, for 8 laps, go race side by side with AJ Allmendinger when AJ Allmendinger was in the preferred line. And he slowly got better and better runs on him, and he was able to clear AJ Allmendinger. And then for the rest of that, stage 3, we pretty much saw a train the entire time. There was just too much of this train racing. And it was the same way in the truck. The preferred line was the top line. That was where the trucks were. I guess that was just where the trucks handled the best. I guess you just couldn't handle as well in the bottom lane. I don't know if it's the track, the surface, the tire, or just whatever. Cars and trucks just were not handling well in the bottom lane. But going into the end of stage 3, it turned into a field mileage race because I believe Jesse Love, who was the leader, was going to be around 2 laps short. And really, it didn't look like the field was really not slowing down. And also due to the fact that Jesse Love was the leader of the pack, he was not going to be able to save the most amount of fuel. So it really just turned into this, oh man, it's going to come down to the last couple laps. Who saved enough fuel? Who came out on top? And we got to it, and I believe Riley Hurts was running second at one time. And he said he was good to go, but then a couple laps later, he ran out of gas, and that's kind of where it overall started. You started seeing more and more trucks with like 8 laps to go run out of gas, and that led into Ryan Sieg running out of gas and slowing in right before entering pit road, and that threw out a caution. And I thought that was best case scenario for Jesse Love, but now he can probably save what he needs there. But actually, that was the worst case scenario because then you're running, even though you're slow, really low on pace, you're running 40 mile an hour, you're still running laps on that track. And knowing that you were really, really close, 2 laps short. We don't know how much he saved. He probably wasn't saving much. There was really no all-throttle time. Well, that led into a bunch of cars pitting. Just a cycle of cars pitting. But Jesse Love stayed out. Some cars wouldn't pit. Some cars didn't. And that's what led into this one final restart. Parker Kligerman and Jesse Love in the front row. They restarted at 100 yards going into turn 1. Jesse Love ran out of gas. And then all of a sudden, the seas parted ways for Austin Hill to take the lead, and he had Chandler Smith and then SVG, who SVG pinned right before this restart because he knew he was low on gas. Well, due to a bunch of other cars behind the front 2 guys running out of gas, he was able to get through that, and he got out to third. But then really, those 2 guys, Chandler Smith and SVG, were no match for Austin Hill. He was too experienced, but we didn't know he was going to run out of fuel because he was in the same pack of his teammate Jesse Love was. But he was able to get enough fuel in the tank and come home and win back-to-back races at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I don't know how Austin Hill did it. He somehow was able to manage his fuel, save enough fuel for the pace lap, and then to run 2 hard laps coming to the finish. I do got to give props to the overall field. We all saw 4 total cautions, 2 that were stages, and really 1 single car accident, and then the 1 that ran out due to Ryan Sieg running out of fuel. So the field raced way better, way cleaner. I think it was just because we saw a lot of train racing. So the pack was just very spread out. We would have like 3 or 4 packs all spread out across this track. I just feel bad for the fans though, personally, because they're paying that money and they want to see the race, and the drivers on track are not doing it. I don't know why they didn't, but I think they just realized that no one was really wanting to try the bottom lane. No one was really trying to take that risk. And if one car tried it, most likely a car behind them was not going to do it because they needed more to come. It would have taken a couple of cars for it to happen, but no one was really trying. And it was also really easy for that leader to block that line and also just block one lane. So it just really didn't work out. We didn't see much racing. That's just really terrible for fans. But speaking of SVG, getting a podium in his second race, he finished 12th last week, and then finishing on the podium third. His average finish in the past 2 races at the super speedway type races is 7.5, so huge. 2 races of SVG, this is not, I don't know how much we have to really take from these 2 races because they're kind of unknowns. They're totally different drafting tracks, pack type racing. But he came out on top in podiums. Great for him, happy for him. That's huge. Hopefully, I think the Australian audience is going to be a big deal about that. So we didn't see as many wrecks, so we didn't see a bunch of torn up cars, which is good. But man, it's really impressive what the RCR cars are doing. They are fast. And really stinks also for Jesse Love. He ended up finishing 12th after running out of gas there. He was on pole for the Xfinity Series race, but got wrecked out early, had some damage. And for this, he had the best car. He deserved to win the race, but due to the fuel strategy and fuel saving, just didn't work out his way. So stinks. But I think he's going to be good, man. You can tell there's a reason that Sheldon Creed is not in that 2 car and Jesse Love is. Richard Childress is probably smiling knowing that he made the right decision when it comes to who's going to try that 2 car for this season. But all, if I'm going to give this race a ranking, I'm going to give it a 4. A 4 flat. It was poor. It was disappointing. I don't know why, but I was not bored. I was just fascinated because the end of the race was interesting with the whole field strategy, but the rest of that was just like, what are we doing? Like, what is the whole point? We're just sitting there, and I just forgot to run down the top 10. Starts top 10. First was Austin Hill. Second was Chandler Smith. Third was SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen. Fourth was Sheldon Creed. Fifth was Parker Retzlaff. 6th was Jeremy Clemens. 7th was Anthony Alfredo. 8th was Jeffrey Earnhardt. 9th was Ryan Truex. And 10th was Sammy Smith. Great for Jeremy Clemens, Parker Retzlaff. I think he finished top 5 in the Daytona race. So that's back-to-back top 5s for him. Great for also Ryan Truex, Jeffrey Earnhardt, some guys you're not going to see in the front. So really good runs for all of them. But yeah, again, I said already, congrats to Austin Hill. Looking forward to Las Vegas. I was really interested with, the booth was really fun to listen to, and Brad and Joey, always great to listen to those guys. Really, really good when it comes to the super speedway type racing. I'm really excited for the Cup race. The front row will be Michael McDowell, Joey Logano. Instead of it being Joey Logano as the pole sitter, it'll be Michael McDowell. So it looked like front row motorsports with that Ford support. They're really showing their speed. So it's great to see front row motorsports live up to their race team's name. Last thing I want to get into is that the Lego group, the Lego company, is aware of William Byron's love for Legos and enthusiasm for the stuff and building those Legos. I used to be a fan of Legos, but usually what happens is you lose them, and they're really cool to play with and build. When I was a kid, I really loved them. I loved the whole Star Wars theme stuff. Those were always cool. But it looks like due to William Byron showing a lot of his love and interest in Legos in the NASCAR Full Speed, he had that massive Titanic ship that he built and had it set up in his living room, and they saw that. So he was kind of promoting Lego in the show, which is really cool. And I believe Lego is aware that it could lead to Lego giving him a partnership and maybe a sponsorship in the near future. And it looks like it's actually led to conversations due when it comes to Matt Weaver's article, which is really big. This is what William Byron said on the potential partnership. Yeah, we're working on it for sure, Byron said. I'd love to have a Lego car out there. I think they do so many unique things with the design. Certainly still going to build. Need to work on my next project here soon. I have some ideas. They are going to send me quite a few sets, so that'll be nice. No more eBay. I'm usually going to eBay and get the Lego sets because they're backordered. So it looks like this partnership is already kind of in a small way. It looks like Lego's already sending him Lego sets to build and stuff. And I actually, speaking of it, NASCAR and Lego did have a little mini partnership thing because you could buy the new next gen Lego set and build it for their build the entire car. So Lego and NASCAR have already worked together. It'd be cool. I think it would be sick. This could be a good way to help build William Byron's brand, personality, especially getting $1 billion 500 fortune freaking company supporting William Byron. That'd be awesome. That'd be really, really sick. But really cool stuff to see for William Byron. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought about the Xfinity Series race. What do you think about William Byron's potential partnership with Lego? And stay tuned to my NASCAR Cup Series review of the And Better Health 400. Bye, y'all.